What's going on? Welcome back to the MVP.
OGs View Podcast, baby.
That's what I'm talking about. We back here for another week, man. Let my music play a little bit longer. Shout out to the boy DeMarcus. You know what I'm saying? Book, man. What's his producer name, man? He ain't got no good producer name that we can use.
Nah, I'll probably get it later tonight once he get off of work or early in the morning. You know, he'll swing by before I leave, which I'm definitely gonna ask him about name and where the rest of the beats at.
You know what I'm saying? He got to drop a tag on there, like mustard on the beat or some shit like that. You know what I'm talking about? So you know what's going on.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? But nah, we back here for another week, man. Thank everybody. Before we get into everything, we start introducing who on the podcast today. I want to thank everybody who listened to the podcast last week. When we was in the studio, we had a good time doing that, and we had a lot of people come out to our YouTube page, check out that video. Record numbers are listening to the podcast, so definitely we will be having some more of them go on. You know what I'm talking about? So let me get into who with me today. Booker, they didn't already heard you, man. What's good with you?
I'm coolin', man. You know, I'm on my last, I'm on my DMX, Mace, LOX tip right here. 24 hours. 24 I got less than 24 hours. You know what I'm talking about? Not to live, but before I got to go back to work. And, just on my countdown, man. Sipping a little juice right now.
Gotcha.
That's that cold talk for that put that hair on your chest stuff.
Wait, hold up. Define it. Define it with actually what you drinking on, because you be flipping up sometimes.
I got the what's this thing? From Mexico. The pure white.
Okay.
Pure white.
The Hennessy pure white. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that hand dog. Hand dog.
Okay.
Like Sharp said.
No problem.
Hand dog.
No problem. Guess who else I got with me, man? I got my boy Cody with me. What's happening?
Man, what they talking about, man?
They ain't talking about nothing. Cody, man, what this dude was talking about drinking when we was in Houston, man? What he said he was gonna drink on instead of the Jack.
Malibu and some other type of person.
Malibu and coconut juice or some shit like that. But he talking about he drinking stuff to put hair on your chest. That's why I need a clarification. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, whoa.
Huh?
First of all, what that boy from this Kanye West said? I'm on that. We call it Malibu. Yeah, that's that thing. It's Malibu and Bacardi.
We don't acknowledge.
We don't.
West.
Hey.
The okay, not Kanye. Yay. Or Mr. West.
We probably actually messed with Kanye. Ye is the new nigga that's fucking up. You know what I'm talking about? So I don't know.
First of all, it don't matter what I was talking about drinking. It's about what did I drink. That's all that matters right there.
You got it in. You got it in. So
I went brown that night. You know what I'm talking about?
Gotcha. So we got my boy Cody with me. We got my boy Book with me.
Yes, sir.
Gregory, what's good with you, man?
What's up? I'm here.
Man, my boy can't get right back with us today, man. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to
Yes,
Can't
sir.
Get Right, man. How you feeling, bro? You good?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just focused. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get it.
I got you. There was a lot of people saying they missed you on the last episode, man. So the boy Greg,
man,
he gonna be intermittent.
I gotta let y'all shine, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me be Hoffa. You know what I'm saying? Let me play the background. Y'all can be, you know what I'm saying? I'll be Henry while y'all think and be Henry.
I got you. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but the people still want to see what Can't Get Right look like. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely we gonna get G in the studio, man.
For sure.
Ain't nothing impressive.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to bring Marcus with me too. So
That's what's
we'll
happening.
have a good time.
That's what's happening. Say, got Greg, we got Cody, we got Book. I'm in Louisiana right now for. I'm not gonna go into the circumstances that I'm out here, but I got my boy Red with me. What's happening with you, Red?
Nothing much.
You know what I'm saying?
Varnell Hill.
Okay.
In the house.
A real, a.k.a. Varnell Hill.
And then Greg pointed something out, too. We playing the back row. Me and Greg, some nice starting 6-man.
Okay.
Some nice 6-man.
Well, both of y'all can't be 6 men. Somebody got to be 7.
Well, Greg number 7. I'm sorry.
Somebody got to be rotation player. Somebody got to be a rotation player.
You know what I'm saying?
Who's the rotation player?
I'll be rotating.
I'm talking about.
He be a 6-man. There we go.
Okay. That was easier than I thought.
I'm talking about Greg driving to the basket. He's 6-man.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Miss y'all, though. Miss y'all, babe. Miss y'all.
You know what I'm saying? Got my boy back on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? So we hold right now. We hold. If you look at our pictures, man, everybody in the collage is here tonight. So shout out to the MVP. And, of course, I'm your boy Franz, like always. You know what I'm saying? I apologize to everybody that I did not introduce myself on the video that we did. Dwayne took the time out. He wanted to make sure he got the rap battle 1-0 out there. So we all should have, you know what I'm saying? Ooh. My boy Cody out there, he got his name put up there. I'm the only one that didn't get my name put up. And I felt a certain type of way about that, man. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't nobody's fault but mine. You know what I'm talking about? But
you should have been first. You the ringleader.
I think she was looking at me too hard. You know what I'm talking about? She was looking at me. She was like, "This nigga just so pretty." I don't want to put his name up because I can't introduce him to the whole world like this. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
hey, see, that's all him. It's all him. He's gonna come see about you again. It's all him.
You know what I'm saying? But T did a good job, man. Shout out to T. Also, shout out to Sphere TV. Right on. I'm sorry. Sphere TV Network. Them dudes are smooth out there. We will be visiting your establishment again. And my boy Book, he'll be Skyping in. You know what I'm talking about? So we definitely going to get y'all another one in like that.
Get me right on the skizite.
You heard me. But anyway, anybody got anything that happened in the week, man, that y'all want to talk about that's serious? Because it's been a long time. We did the last podcast last Monday, and it feels like it's been a long time since we did a podcast. So anybody got anything that happened since then?
Real talk, it just feel weird, man. You know, I'm not in front of the people, you know? Like,
You was in the lights, huh? Now you in the background back here.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Shoot. Well, no, ain't much happened this week, you know. Shout out to Coach T. You know, at the high school, the boy's so full of himself, he got his own play named after him. I love stuff like that. But every time I come to see,
that ain't how you run, boys.
Every time I come to see a game of his, though, you know what I'm talking about, he's always lost in front of me. So I'm glad he finally won a game.
It's your fault. You bad luck, then, nigga.
Nah, it ain't my fault. It ain't my fault. I blame it on them kids he got. But you know what I'm talking about, they showed up and showed out, man. That was a great game that, you know, he coached, man. He had his moments where Coach Ward kind of came into play. I could see it. I could see I saw it live in person right behind the bench. So it was dope, man. Congratulations to the team, man. That was pretty much the highlight, you know what I mean? Getting to see my boy get, you know, not his first win, but the first win in front of me. So shout out.
I gave him a quick round of applause real quick.
That was the first one?
Oh, word.
Nah, just in front of him. Okay. Yeah, he bad luck. You know what I'm saying? Dwayne come up there with all that.
Bad luck, man.
Greg went to the game?
Yeah, Greg go to the game. Yeah, Greg go to the game. He didn't go to this last one. It might be Greg's fault because every other game Greg went to, they lost with Dwayne. It's that combination. Him and Dwayne together, they lose. Greg didn't show up last game, and they won. They won the game, so it's probably Greg. The Greg book combination is not good.
I think that.
So, anybody else had anything that happened? That
do, Greg. Don't let him do it to us.
Yeah, but anybody else got anything of importance before we get into this shit? You know what I'm talking
about? Nah.
Cody, I got the part-time gig. I think I told you about
that.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, congrats on that.
Congrats, Cody.
Congrats, man.
Appreciate it.
That was great.
Yeah, trying to finagle my way into the school. So working
all
part-time at the new rec center at Texas A&M. So
Gotcha.
All right.
No problem.
Congrats, Cody.
That was great.
Oh, great.
Yeah, you ain't hear the whole story?
I thought it was Cody talking.
Nah, that was great.
I'm sorry, because Cody always got a story. My fault.
Oh, my goodness.
Congrats, Greg.
Man.
No.
My small fault.
No.
But anyway, we're going to get into some stuff tonight, man. And we're going to do something I think that's probably never been done on a podcast before. You know what I'm saying? In our podcast, we always want to be as transparent as totally possible. You know what I'm talking about? We want to be honest as possible. First thing, I got one thing before we get into the shits. I got my boy Christopher. You know what I'm saying? CP. Spaceman, we call him. You know what I'm talking about? That's my dog. Somebody had left a comment basically saying, man, Chris Wild, my boy Chris is a good guy. He thinks out the box. And we love the out the box thinking. I love Chris's questions. And my dude is actually not that wild. He just, we task him to come up with those kind of questions. You know what I'm saying? So my boy Chris, that's my dog. Y'all just chill out. You know what I'm saying? And we going to keep it rolling. You know what I'm talking about? So we got that. Anybody else got to say anything about the boy Chris? Anybody else want to talk about his character, man? You know what I'm talking about? How good he is.
Oh, man, Chris is straight. Chris is, boy, that look, it got me slurring words. I don't know how to sound on the playback. Couldn't say his name. I think I was saying it with Crash. Nah, Chris is solid, man. For those of you that don't know him, obviously, you know, when you listen to us and if we get on him and say he got these crazy topics or where this comes from, you know, oh man, strap in, lace up, you know what I mean? Like, it's all in love for us to him. But trust me, he's not like that. And a lot of the topics that he comes up with, they're not necessarily the topics that he comes up with. He hears general conversations with people around him. And he'll be like, oh, okay, well, you know what? I wonder what the guys would think. So let me, you know, kind of throw that out there to him. So everybody, when you hear him talking about if you moonwalk on the moon, is it still a moonwalk? If you backtrack and go forward, like don't take it too serious. You know what I'm saying? It's more than likely not his question. It's just something that he heard, and you know, it's all in fun, man. You know, sometimes, and I love it because it's never like a dry topic that he actually provides us with. So. Shout out to CP, man. Keep them coming, my brother.
Already. You know what I'm talking about?
A lot of stuff CP come up with, I think it'd be dope. I mean, just
it's extra dope.
Yeah, but conversation between your homeboys.
Yeah, that's just how we talk.
Yeah.
But the problem is, you know what I'm saying? It was like it was brought to me
Other
like
people.
Yeah, it was brought to me like other people because they don't know him. So they're like, damn, what's wrong with this nigga Chris? And I don't ever want my boy to be looked upon like that. So that's my dog. My dog's solid. I wouldn't even talk to the nigga if he was that crazy.
The only problem I got in life is that when you say pick and roll, he keep asking what you doing. I said, pick and roll, CP. That's it. Man, come on, roll. Other than that shit, CP awesome.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, we ain't got no problems with that. Okay, let's get to the shits. You know what I'm talking about? Let's get into these topics. You know what I'm talking about? Greg, my boy Greg, he had a topic that he wanted to talk about, man. So, Greg, I'll let you ask the question, man. Let's get to it.
Yeah, man. I guess there was this lady at my job. She was asking the other coworkers, you know what I'm saying, what's a good man? And she had, I mean, obviously, if she's asking, she doesn't know. I mean, maybe I'm assuming, maybe I might be wrong. But then she said, before anybody can even answer her, she said, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to Google what's a good man. And it just made me just think, like, are we really at that state where ladies, and I mean, I guess it goes for men too, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to Google what a good man is or a good woman? Like, is it that bad? Like, I don't know. I mean, I've been in a marriage and a relationship, so I ain't really been, you know, out there like that. But my question to y'all and to the audience, like, is it really that bad out there that she got to Google what's a good man or what's a good woman? You know what I'm saying? Vice versa.
Well, a lot of us been out the game for a little while, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to start with the person that's deep in it right now, you know what I'm saying? So, Real, you heard the question, man. You heard the topic. What you think about it?
It's hard.
Get close.
It's hard. It depends on what
you're looking for. Is that bad, Real?
Is it bad, Greg? The men are worse. I mean, the women are worse than the men these days. There's so many lies they tell and stuff like that. But I mean, I'm not like I'm the last person to talk. I clown a lot, and I messed up a lot of relationships being me. But I pray.
You the reason why you Googling
this. But no, because it started off like I give out the same energy that I receive, and it's been a lot of lies. Like people, like I'm 35, so chances are I'm meeting a female that got 1+ kid already, probably been in a relationship. Damn, they probably been married, so she's starting over too. But some of the lies they tell, they don't have no kids. Then you go to their page, you got 2 or 3 of them. Just don't hide your kids. I love kids, but it's just so many lies out there. It's just hard. And I know I clown a lot, but I just pray on it. So I feel like through prayer, believing and stuff like that, she'll come to me. But until then, I'm gonna cut up, Greg.
Hey, well, I'm just gonna let you know. I got the assist for you. I'm gonna be like Kyrie Irving. I got a couple lined up for you. That's some good women here. And you coming to me, but I shots like that thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna pass it to my homeboy. So I'm telling you, I got a scientist. No lies. She's a scientist. She's straight. You know what I'm saying? So, well, whenever you come down here, you know, I got you.
Send a pic through. Yeah,
you know
what I'm talking about?
She work at the research building.
Send a pic through.
She light skinned. I gotta see if she here. You know what I'm saying? But,
I don't want you to go take a picture of the girl. You know what I'm saying? Her face. I mean, go to social media or something and pull a picture. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
So we can see what you're talking about.
I got you.
Okay.
Yeah. I got
right now.
We can make
a
a picture. We can make a picture to cover art for the episode.
Nah.
Just blur it out a little bit.
Well, I try to blur out the face. Hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We'll let the people just off the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? Besides the face, what they think. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But
she cool, man. She's super smart too. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
She told me how she was doing animal surgery and research on, different stuff. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, Cody, you in the game.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, I guess how you feel about that? What Greg talking about, man? What's your feelings towards it?
You said I'm in the game.
You
what game you playing?
not when you in the marriage game. Let's say that. Not in the game. I apologize for the mistalk, but you in the marriage game. You out of the game. You know what the hell I'm trying to say, man. People know what I'm talking about, man.
Hey, I ain't want that out there like that.
Yeah, nah.
Like, so you're in the game. You're in the game now. And I don't need them problems, bro.
Yeah.
But now, I think that's unfortunate. The fact that a woman doesn't know what a good man is, because how is she going to let her significant other, if she does decide to date, how's she gonna let them know what she expects out of them? If she doesn't even know what she expects out of them, they don't even know if they're compatible or not. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think for anything, she probably need to work on her. I give this kind of advice for anybody that's just single. Just probably work on yourself a lot more, because once you work on yourself and try to work through any of your flaws, you can see what you lack and what you might need, in a significant other. And so therefore, you'll know what you want. And so what Google might say is a good man, that might not be what you need for you to be compatible. You know what I'm saying? You might not want to be a traditional. Exactly. You might not want to be a traditional woman. You might actually be an alpha woman. You know what I'm saying? So you might just need somebody that's gonna have
she
that.
Definitely is. She definitely is. She definitely is an alpha woman. I mean,
right?
Yeah.
And if you're that way, it's not always gonna work if you find an alpha male. And so if you Googling it and stuff like that, the majority of the shit that's gonna come back is that you need this alpha male that's gonna be able to do this and da. Well, she don't necessarily need that. She needs something that's gonna complement her. You know what I'm saying? So she got to check her own situation. You know, that's some subjective shit, man. You can't just get no definition on something like that, man. That's personally tailored to each individual, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. But she was dead serious, you know what I'm saying, before anybody else goes. You know what I'm saying? Just to really paint the picture. Like, she's an individual where she can come off as, like I said, obviously, a strong woman. But at the same time, like, she wants it now. Like, she don't want to put the work in. You know what I'm saying? From what I've gathered from, you know what I'm saying, conversations with her, and even, her coworker that sits right next to her. And she tells me all the time, she's like, yeah, she don't want to put the work in, but she wants the results. And I'm like, well, why it can't be like that in relationships. There's no fast food, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to take some time, So, but.
Well, this is the microwave age, you know what I'm saying? People ain't trying they want everything right then and right now. And so, I mean, just think about the quality of your food. When you putting that shit in the microwave versus whether you throw that hoe in the oven, when you put it in the oven, you know what I'm saying? That thing, hey, take a little more time. But
even pizza. When you get the pizza, you know what I'm saying? And you put it in the oven compared to the microwave, man, come on, man.
Yep.
I got y'all. Book.
Yeah.
How you feel about that, man? Same thing.
Greg, what's your question again, brother?
Man, you can't fall asleep on the podcast, man. Come on, bro.
I didn't fall asleep. I just want to make sure that I answer it correctly.
I got you.
You said, what's the definition of a good man or how?
Yeah, well, the
all right. So for your colleague, I would say, how old is she? By chance, you know?
She may be a little bit older than us, maybe 40.
A little bit older than us. Okay, so that means that means she's a veteran. All right. So what I would say is, clearly this isn't her first relationship. Has she ever assessed what she might have done wrong in a relationship? Because for me, I speak from experience. For me, 10 times out of 10, if you ain't doing something right for me, then I'm gonna go find what's right for me somewhere else. Okay.
Right.
So has she been committed to her relationship, to her man, that would make her, if she hasn't gone all the way or done this, that, and the third, or listened to what it is that gentleman needs, I would think that if he cheated on her or anything like that, neglect anything, you know, I would feel as though that would constitute her saying there are no good men out there. But you're not looking in the mirror. And Cody was leading towards that, but he went a different direction with it, but he touched on it vaguely. But that's what I would say. I don't think it's so much that you can't find a good man. It's just, I mean, a man could say the same thing about a good woman. It's all about what you're willing to do in the relationship that will make it last, make you guys enjoy one another. So I would tell her to step back, look at yourself, like Cody said, and figure out what your faults are and go from there. Maybe it's not the man. Maybe it's you.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe it's you. And what it is that you, the lack thereof, of what you're willing to do or what you are already doing in the relationship that just isn't enough on your side, but you're not seeing it that way. So I don't think there's ever no such thing as there's no good man. Of course, we've all heard that before, but I don't believe it. Like all men are dogs, stuff like that. I don't believe in that. That's just a myth, you know. So when you put that stigma out there and you put that energy out there, more times than not, that's who you're gonna link up with in life, and it's just gonna continue to hold true for you. So
I got you. What I got to say about that, man, is y'all ever heard that perception is reality? You know what I'm talking about? You may not be this type of person, but whatever you putting out there, how I perceive you is how I'm going to treat you. So, like how y'all said, you need to self-reflect what you putting out to the world that's attracting these so-called not good men. And, I mean, you got to reflect on that. Whatever you putting out there, you keep on doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. That's insanity. You know what I'm talking about? Holla at me for dropping bars. Holla at me for dropping bars out here on them. Boy, that sound like Dr. Phil in this bitch. You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, I hear you. Can I get one more perspective?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Yeah.
Can I add one more perspective from the OG, triple OG triple?
Go ahead.
The house.
Who we got triple OG in the house, man?
Go ahead,
How you guys doing? My name is Alan Booker, Dwayne's father here.
What's going on, Pops? What's happening?
What's going on?
So everybody happy to hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Are you the same people that was in my house when you was young that woke me up when I was trying to go to work and need some sleep? Are you the same one?
That is correct.
Yeah.
To this day, every time I see you, I try to hurry up and get past you because I don't want you to try to hit me or nothing like that.
How old are you?
I'm saying, 34. Still scared of you. You know what I'm talking about? Ever since you gave us that look, like y'all niggas too loud up here. We've been scared ever since.
I'm a nice person, you know. I mean, I was just upset that night. My wife didn't have nothing to eat for me and stuff, and like you guys making all that noise. I'm trying to sleep. Yeah.
So you should have told us. I would have went on a run for you. I would have got you some Burger King or something. You at least been fooled.
we could have got you straight for sure. Yeah. It's definitely a respect factor. The book's name is mentioned. I have a flashback of that night. So that's in my brain.
Oh boy! I feel sorry for you then.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, I was listening to your conversation and about this woman. See, I don't know too much about that woman. A lot of you don't have, whoever's making the conversation, doesn't really know really much about her background. I mean, is she married? Does she have kids?
Oh, well, I do know, Mr. Booker, that she does not have kids, but I think she may have been divorced. So that's all I do know.
Okay, and you was talking about how she's Googling to find out what's a good man?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. That's correct.
All right. Now, my question to you guys would be, I'm going to ask you, before I get into what her problem might be, all right? I'm going to ask you, what's the true measure of a man?
Anybody?
I think it's many things. I mean, it depends on how you're raised, your environment. I mean, all that, I think that it's a combination of a lot of different things, to be honest with you.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that. Okay. Say again?
Go ahead, Cody.
All I was saying was I think it depends on what you mean when you ask that question. Like, are you saying a man as far as a family, a man as far as what he does, in his community, a man as what he does at his workplace? Do you mean like all three of those encompassed in one?
I'm talking. You're kind of on the right path right there. When I ask, just like I asked my sons the same question, what's the true value, or what's the true measure of a man? And you gave some things, but it's the whole thing. How do you measure yourself as a man? And that can be like my relationship, who I am. Am I open-minded, closed-minded? Am I honest with myself? It's based upon you as an individual, as a man. Your faults, your strengths, your weakness, things like that. You can throw family in there, everything like that. But when I ask the question, now, next time when Dwayne, you guys have a talk, maybe somebody can tell me as an individual, each one of you, what does that mean to you when I ask you that? And in regards to that woman, or that lady that's Googling, she's trying to find something that don't exist. Okay? Mm-hmm. She perceives that there's got to be, I need help from somebody outside to tell me what a true man is. But at the same time, she's not focusing on herself to figure that out. I mean, it's not too hard to figure out. I mean, if you meet somebody and you already know he's some type of player, well, you already know what kind of man he is. Okay? Mm-hmm. I mean, everything is just plain simple. I'm going to give you a good example, like my wife. We was talking about some things last night, all right, about these women, okay?
Hold up. Don't give us too much information about it in the bedroom now before you go too deep.
No, okay. Whether you're married or single, but mostly when you're married, okay? Now, my wife has some friends. They're married. Some of them were single, okay?
Yes, sir.
But they seem to, my wife feels that they like me.
They supposed
you
to.
Understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I'm talking about like. I ain't talking about how you doing, smiling and stuff. I'm talking about like.
No.
All right?
And
that kind of like.
Once again, they supposed to. Right? Yes, sir.
Right. but anyway, I'm going to give you one example. Uh-huh. There's a lady that lives here, and when I was working overseas, my wife claims that this woman waited around 4 hours for me to come home. Mm-hmm. All right? Not worry about my wife. Not come to see my wife. Come to see me. All right? And I tried telling my, I was trying to tell my wife it's not that she likes me. It's a relationship that she's in with her husband. Mm-hmm. When there's no communication or anything like that, and if you look at another man that's, if you're married, you look at this other man that says, oh, I'm washing, man, he washes clothes, he cooks it. Well, I ain't gonna mention that German stuff there, but it's about what another person sees that somebody else has and wish they had that or can't understand why they don't have the same thing. And that's why I was trying to tell my wife she was missing that part of her relationship. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know, something happened in Germany, you know. But it's like the girl liked me so much, she wanted my wife to go upstairs while she take care of me.
Oh, okay. I see.
All right.
I see.
Okay. So so sometimes I don't think it was much more about the girl liking me.
Uh-huh.
It's about what she seen as my wife when she was going through pregnancy with the first child, and that she could probably, being a good friend of my wife, that she could probably take care of me. All right.
Okay.
And
what they in Germany? That's where you say these women that like that.
Oh yeah,
they gonna take care of you.
Yeah. But this girl, the soldier, I mean, she was so fine she didn't need to be in the military. But you know,
hey, so you thought about it for a second though. Don't lie. You thought about it like, yo, come on now. She might need to. Come on. Well, how you feel about this? You ain't look at your wife like, what you think?
No. I can tell you the whole thing. I mean, if you want to, you know. Yeah. I mean, you know, she worked with my wife at the hospital.
Uh-huh.
When she comes over one weekend to have dinner with us. And after dinner, we're sitting in the living room and we was watching movies. But, you know, what's her name? Vivian or Annette. You know, she's Puerto Rican and stuff. He wanted to watch a porn movie.
Okay.
You know, so I got to looking at my wife and, all right, fine, you know. Mm-hmm. So we threw in some John Holmes in there, Long Gone, you know, whatever. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the girl, I mean, I'm just, you know, she's getting all heated up. So my wife goes in the back room. Now, my wife must have been about 7 months pregnant during this time, okay? She's in and out of the hospital all the time. And so Annette gets up. She goes in the back room. Next thing I know, I hear my wife, oh, get this little out of here. You know, just going off on the girl. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, you know?
Yeah.
And so I get up. I go back there. So what's going on? You know, she ain't explaining nothing. Call the cab, get her to out of here. You know, I said, well, I'll take her back to the hospital. Oh, hell no. You know, that kind of stuff. Now the taxi shows up, taxi leaves, right? I asked my wife, what's going on? What happened? You know, my wife, she said she had the nerve to tell me why not go upstairs to one of our friends' home while I take care of your husband. Then I said, you kicked her out for that?
Yeah. So there ain't no reason for her to get kicked out for that. We got to talk through this. You know what I'm saying?
But that was the wrong thing to say, even though I was just kidding. But nah, I mean, yeah, you know. But you asked me that I think about it. Did I have any thoughts?
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's what, you know, that's with any man. I mean, you know, or any person. Yeah, you might have thoughts. Yeah, you know, she looks all right, but it, you know, as long as she ain't Janet Jackson or Chaka Khan, you know, ain't got to worry about that.
Okay.
But,
you said Janet Jackson, Chaka Khan, boy. Okay.
So as you can see, women will see men a different way or situation, whether it's good or bad or entertaining. And it's no different problem from what some of y'all going through, whether you're married or single. You know, I mean, you live in an age today, like somebody said something about a microwave, you know. I mean, yeah, it's that's how it is now.
Yes, sir.
Like a roving door also, in and out. You know, people don't want to take the chance of getting in a relationship because they was hurt before. Well, why this man is like this? And if she had like 4 relationships, she'd say, well, this person did this for me. This person didn't do this. So she's comparing a lot of people. She'll never find the perfect person. You can know somebody all your life. As soon as you get married, hell, man, it's like, what happened? I'm married to Frankenstein or Godzilla or somebody, you know? Your whole life changes, you know?
Yeah, I got you.
So, whatever she's looking for, I don't know.
That's what's happening. Mr. Book, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? We definitely needed that story for the podcast. You know what I'm talking about? I appreciate that one. That's OG wisdom right there. You know what I'm saying? Anybody got anything to add to that?
Ain't nothing to add.
Anybody got one?
Hey, I like that. Since Mr. Booker, I got to ask about this next one. Hold up. Let me play my drop real quick. Go on to the next topic real quick.
I said, yeah.
Okay. Pops, I don't know if you heard about Terry Crews, but Terry Crews had a white guy. He was executive. I guess he filled up on his balls and he felt like he got sexually assaulted. And lately, last week, he got into it with D.L. Hughley and Tariq Nasheed, other people, 50 Cent, because he basically threatened them. He wanted to knock them out. And basically the consensus is, why are you trying to knock out these black dudes, but when the white dude touched on your balls, you ain't had no energy for him. So right now, I'm trying to understand that mindset of why he would basically, you know what I'm talking about, let the dude feel on his balls. He got to sue him, but black people talking about the incident, he want to knock them out then. Now we're going to get physical. So I want to know if you can help me a little bit with that before I get into the guys and hear what they got to say.
Now, let me understand that. If somebody...
executive at the company touched his balls, caressed his balls, back his neck. And he sued him. Mm-hmm. But recently, a lot of other black people in the community have been making fun of him, and he want to fight them, though. So why you want to fight them, but you ain't had this same energy for the white guy when he was touching your balls?
Who was that guy?
Terry Crews. You know Terry Crews? Big dude, pop locker. Big, you seen white chicks? Yeah. Okay. And he like the white girl.
Oh, okay. I now know. Yeah, I want to be. Yeah, moving this. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now I understand the person.
Oh yeah, you all grown up now.
You know? I don't know. It's like, you know, he's too serious. It shouldn't have been a big thing. He did what he had to do with the white guy. You're going to sue him or whatever. Mm-hmm. Now, when it comes to people making fun of you and everything like that, you know, you go with it. I mean, it's like, if somebody says, oh, yeah, man, he grabbed your balls and stuff like that, jingling around. Oh, hey, man, you know, it's no use in getting upset. You know, it's all in fun, you know?
Yes, sir.
I don't agree with it why he needs to be all upset and everything like that. I mean, if anything, if the guy grabbed his balls, should knock the hell out of him, you know?
that's what everybody was saying. But now when the black guys talking about it, they talking about what happened. Now he got mad and he won't fight them. But you ain't want to fight that white dude. Right. So that's why I'm like, somebody got to help me out understand this. I'm not understanding this. Cody, what you think about that, man? You got anything?
I think now he's kind of thinking back to why he's probably asking himself that question. Why didn't I knock his ass out? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when he hearing people clown him for that, you know, I'm thinking he's like, man, I really should have. You know, so now he in his feelings about it. So anybody say something about it, he ready to go at them. He's trying to. It's misplaced anger, in my opinion.
Sure, I think so too.
Let me jump in real quick, and then we'll let you guys go.
Yes, sir.
Now, that's a good point. I didn't want to say the other part there. It's just like, more or less, we don't know all the things that's going out there, what's being said to them, other than what you're hearing with the media. Mm-hmm. You know, most people look at, man, that's some gay shit, man. You let somebody do that, that's kind of gay. You see what I'm saying? You didn't knock the mug out? You know? I mean, come on, man. And so he could be getting teased that way. You must have liked it, man, but if you got embarrassed, somebody probably seen it, you know? Yeah. So I ain't letting nobody squeeze my balls and dig them around without knocking them the hell out. I see you. Right now, I mean, I got to protect my reputation. You're going to get to me. I mean, yeah, he squeezed them balls. He's a coconut and stuff, trying to get milk out of it. But we don't even know how long he let him do it. He can be milking the cows tomorrow.
You right though. You right. You right. Yo, Book, man, how you feel about it, man?
What's that, bro?
I said, how you feel about that, man? How you feel about it?
Oh man. I said, man, it's I love my thought, man. I don't even remember. I go fix them. Oh,
Yeah, why you remember it, man? Greg, man, what you got to say about it, bro?
Oh, boy.
You're Greg.
Jay, you still here?
Greg might have to go. Well, Real, go ahead, Real. What you got? What you think about it, man?
I think it's two sides to the story. To be honest, because Bryson probably been taught that at the age of 5. Probably younger than that. If somebody touch you, you will hit them. Mm-hmm. And I always felt like Terry Crews had something wrong with him anyway. But as a big nigga, like how big you are, you would have hit him. You would have did something. So I think it's just two sides to the story. That don't even add up to me. A man just gonna come touch you on your balls and you go, oh, that's it. Nah.
Hey,
it gotta be two sides to it.
Like Mr. Booker said, he must have liked it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Who knows how long he had hands on them balls?
You know, man.
I would have took that one to the grave with me.
You ain't lying. Yo, Book, you remember what you was gonna say, man?
Shucks, man. I really don't. I really don't. Man, had me rolling because I was thinking about something else. I was gonna have him deliver another story to y'all about last night. About it could have been a possible bully situation. You know what I mean?
Wait, hold up. Let me close this one out. Let me close this one out, and then you go and get that story. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Hold up. Well, all right. we ain't Rick Ross that thing in a while. Let me go and look up for my Rick Ross. Hold up, real quick.
All right.
Where Rick Ross at? There we go. There we go. Book. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. What's the story, man? What's the one?
Well, you know, we talk about this day and age, and you know, you hear my father on the podcast. He got a lot of stories, man. All actual, factual though. Mm-hmm. But you know, he like I said, just piggybacking off of the last topic that we just closed out, though, you know, that could have been possible, like a bully situation. So leading into it, you know, does he fall under the Me Too movement now?
That's what he doing. He partnered with them, and that's what he doing.
Yeah. Okay. So, you know, the perfect transition segue, because, like I said, what is bullying nowadays? You know what I mean? Like what constitutes actual bullying? Because, you know, when a lot of the older people in the world were growing up, it was one thing. Mm-hmm. And we're not privy to that. So, you know, we got kids out here now. Oh, he laughed at me because my picture didn't look good, or I colored outside the lines, and he making fun of me, or whatever the case will have it. Like, what do you think? Because most of y'all have kids. Well, for everybody that's on the podcast right now, they all have children, excluding me. So, I don't know. I know before, Cody, you know, you mentioned in one of your weekly recaps, you know, what J.R. went through at the daycare. I don't think, Franz, you've ever had anything of mention. And Greg, he disappeared for a couple minutes. I'll hit him back. And then Darrell, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know if you guys or your children have ever, you know, been bullied, been a part of bullying. Look at this goddamn raccoon. I'm sorry.
That's the raccoon from last week, man.
Across the street. I feel like Kevin Hart. Look at this. Look at this. But I just want to know, like, even if it hasn't happened to your kids, what do you think constitutes bullying? And then once again, I'm gonna have an OG Cuphead, and he's gonna give you a story of his lifestyle of growing up in New Jersey. So,
what you think, Real?
Y'all let me know.
No, you started off.
Huh?
You started off.
What I think bullying is, bullying is like, to me, it's like just tormenting a person for no damn reason. I mean, to me, jokes to me ain't really bullying unless it's like coupled with like you pushing on a nigga, you know what I'm talking about? Like old shit from them old movies, you know what I'm saying? You giving niggas wedges, you know what I'm talking about? You putting their head in the toilet and shit like that. That's what I used to think bullying was, but now it's all this shit about if you say something to somebody on the internet when all you gotta do is turn off your fucking phone, or you could block niggas and all that. To me, I mean, I don't get that part, but I'm a little older, so it don't make sense to me. But as long as you don't put your hands on me, I know I'm different than a lot of people. If you don't put your hands on me, it don't really count for me as bullying. You know what I'm saying? But, Cody, where you feel? How you feel like?
Well, JR had an incident at the gym that one time where this white girl was calling him a nigger and following him around.
Well, that's different.
Yeah. And so that's bullying. And she was way older than him, so she was probably like 8, something like that. And she had a little brother, so they were both doing it. You know what I'm saying? And so the person that was watching them had to step in, and then I found out about it after I finished my workout or whatever. That's bullying. What like people calling you names and stuff like that, it can get to the form of bullying if it's repetitive over and over again, and it's like the kids crying and stuff, you know, shit like that. And that's bullying as well. I mean, I know, you know, to be tough and all this and all that, but everybody ain't built like that. You know what I'm saying? Some kids have had that happen and then end up committing suicide over it. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know people's level of tolerance when it comes to, you know, that type of adversity. So I don't really think there's a barometer for that. I feel like it should be tailored for each individual, because you know if your child is a little bit more sensitive, you know what I'm saying, than another child that probably grew up in a different type of household. And so at this point, you know, in life, you kind of got to take that into account, because a lot of these sensitive kids, they'll take what's going on and they'll go home and like they'll shoot themselves and commit suicide. So you got to take that serious. Yes. Now, as far as me growing up, I hated bullies. You know what I'm saying? Like my fights that I got into growing up, it was 95% was because of a bully trying to do something to somebody else. It ain't had nothing to do with me. But I ended up inserting myself in the situation and getting in fights and getting in trouble over the shit, because I don't stand for that type of shit. I think that somebody that preys on somebody that's perceived weaker than them is a weak ass dude. You know what I'm saying? And so that's just how I was growing up. But you know, fortunately, I never really had to deal with any type of bullying. I wouldn't say growing up.
How you feel, real?
Now, Coda touched on a lot of things, too, that I want to say, but you could also say work bullying, too. They got all kinds of it. Like, even grown-ass men to this day, like, still get bullied. You could stop promotions and stuff. They got a lot of people that killed themselves offshore. It's a lot of forms. Just not being small is considered bullying, like, even up to this day. There's a lot of forms of it.
Like Red, you know what I'm saying? My mama gave me that chain.
Red,
that kind of stuff happened.
Yeah. That was bullying. That was bullying.
Yeah, it was bullying, man. People was bullying the nigga.
Like for a story, they had this black guy, most qualified dude on the rig, but he kept getting pushed back because he was black. I felt like that was a form of bullying. He took it like he got depressed and killed himself over it, and he kept getting passed over. So it's different forms. But Coda touched on a lot of what I wanted to say.
Okay, no problem.
Hey, Coda.
I think we need to take it a little bit more serious, man. I know we say kids are soft and everything like that, but I think each situation should represent its own. You know what I'm saying? You kind of need to review each situation and not give a holistic view on it. Don't just be like, you can handle that, da-da-da-da. That person might not be able to handle it. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
I think we need to assess that. I mean, a lot of times it is something very minute that they should be able to handle and deal with themselves. But, you know, sometimes it's not. So I think you need to assess every situation. You was about to say something to me, Red?
I was about to bring up one of the fights, but I'm going to throw it away. But like how you said, like how we was raised, like my dad always told me, you know, you better toughen up and stuff like that. So we all did that up until this day. And like how you said, it's only, like my son Bryson, he might not be able to handle that. He's not an outside type child. It's computers and stuff for him. So a lot of stuff I tell him to toughen up, he can't handle it. But I respect it. But I also try to instill certain things in him that he needs to know at school and stuff like that. So you're right.
And that's you assessing the situation. You ain't just saying toughen up, and then making them go outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, hey, you're going to need to toughen up. So you're taking those steps to try to toughen them up.
Yeah.
That's not you just looking at it like, nah, you a boy, you need to be da-da-da-da. You know, I know we had those times. I do that to my son all the time. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no super tough dude. You know what I'm saying? Because he gets so babied by his mama and stuff like that. But that's why I'm here, you know what I'm saying, to try and counter that. And so more oftentimes than not, you know, when he falling and stuff, you know, little stuff like that, you know, you don't need to be crying. Stop crying. You all right? Is it bleeding? No? All right, you good. And so he'll stop instantly right then. And so the more you do stuff like that, the tougher they build themselves up to be. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to tell them. You don't have to keep on telling them, because they got it instilled in them at that point. Yeah. Hopefully.
Gotcha. Book. Where you at, Book?
I'm here, man.
Okay, man. Let's get it, man. I'm on the edge of my seat trying to hear this story, man. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm with you. I'm trying to let him make his coffee.
Okay,
no trying to tune out because I had y'all on mute because they ain't there doing what older people do.
Oh,
making coffee.
Oh no, I thought you was talking about something else. Now,
why you looking like that? No. Nah, we're in the kitchen. We're in the kitchen, so I didn't want the background of the refrigerator and the kettle and everything going off. So
no, you straight.
But you ready, sir?
What, they want my opinion?
Yeah, what's
he said he's gonna tell a story.
What bullying is.
All right, bully. I don't know what y'all call it, but to be quite honest, that sounds pretty damn weak. You know, let me tell you about bullying. We don't even really call it bullying. Well, I grew up in New Jersey, in a nice area. Okay, and I tell you, you guys talking about bullying? I don't know how many of you have been chased home every day from school. I mean, you got 15, 20 people wanting to kick your butt. You know the reason why they chase me home every day?
What?
You take a guess.
He's black?
I was black. I ain't black, man. I'm so black I can't even find my daggone shower. All right, that's how black I am. All right? Okay? Plus, I was the only son. Everybody had brothers and everything like that. They used to call me Booger and all that. So I couldn't fight 15 people a day. All right? Now, can I call that bullying?
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't call it that. Just they just want to kick my ass. That's what that was. All right?
But when it turned into every day, it could be bullying. When they want to kick your ass every day, that is kind of bullying. When you turn to every day.
Well, we don't call it that. I'm going to just move right along off of that one right here. Okay.
Yes,
in my neighborhood, in order for you to come out and hang out on the street, you had to fight every day or either box. All right. Mm-hmm. More or less like a street fighter. If you couldn't do it, you stayed in the house because you was afraid to come out and get your ass whooped or try to learn how to fight. The main thing, all this stuff that I learned coming up was about being able to defend yourself and defend your town from others. I mean, we had no guns or nothing like that, but we did a lot of fighting. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm gonna give you a good example. When I got married, I came home, all right, with my wife. And my best friend name is Champ, all right? Mm-hmm. This guy's built like Mike Tyson, okay? Mm-hmm. Same size. We're sitting on the porch and everything like that, chilling out, and we see this kid coming down the street named Becky. All right, now Becky's known, he had some herbs, right? So Champ says, let's get high. All we want is just one joint, right? Mm-hmm. Pull the kid up to the porch and up to the house and everything like that. My wife she's kind of freaking out. Now Champ had like this little baseball bat that you get like at the stadium. And they kept on asking the guy, give me a joint. The guy kept on saying, I ain't got one. They kept on, I ain't got one, Mm-hmm. So Champ grabbed him, started popping him in the knee, asked me, did I have some rope? I went around the house and came back with some clothesline rope. We tied him up to the tree. Now, this is in the front yard, daylight, okay? My dad comes to the door, he looks out, turns around, go back to watching this Western, all right? Because this is the norm. Now, my wife is freaking out. She's about ready to cry because the kid is crying and everything like that. Nah, it's not bullying. It right there was, you lied to us, all right? You lied. All we wanted was a joint. All right, you took an ass whooping like that because you didn't want to give up one joint, okay? And then you didn't get the bag back, all right? Now, been left at the river tied up. My dad had to come out there with a doggone flashlight and a doggone hunting dog to find me, all right? Now, is that bullying? You can call it that today, but back then, no. All right? It's about hating that black son of a bitch. All right? That's what that was about. Okay? Now, the way we grew up is kind of different from you guys. All right? Uh-huh. I was telling Dwayne, sharing a story with him, like 21. You guys play 21, right? Well, you used basketball.
Yes, sir.
All right. Have you ever played with 15 or more or 10 or more people out there on the court?
Nah, we'd just play the game. We'd have played the game by then.
No, I'm saying with 15 or more people, right? Is that what you said?
Not for 21, like all at the same time.
Nah,
all at the same time.
We'd have just played the full game. Yeah, that's too many people on the court.
What you say?
I said, that's too many people on the court. We'd have just played the full game.
Nah, you're thinking wrong. You're thinking wrong. See, we don't really call that, well, it's 21, but it's about survival. Okay? You got 20-some people out there. The rule is no kicking in the nuts. You do whatever you got to do to get a point. I mean, just 1 point. All right? Now, you're being knocked on the ground. You're being stepped on, kicked, everything thing just to get that doggone 1 point. Now, my first experience with that 21, all right, I didn't score no point. Me and about 7 other people didn't have no point. So we had to be tied up to the poles or to the fence. For every point that you lost by, that was the number of punches you got. I ain't talking about from the winner. I'm talking about from everybody that didn't get eliminated. All right? So you're getting nuts rolling down your face and everything like that. And if you cry, you stay up there a little bit longer. Now, is that bullying?
I would have to say yes. and unless you agree to the teams that you agree to the terms of that before you hopped yourself into the game, then that's on you. But if they just made that stuff up your first time,
let's put it this way: if your ass is up there by that court, you're going to play. You don't play, you still going to get tied up.
Why y'all tying people up, man?
Yeah, y'all doing a lot of tying people up back then, man. What's going on?
No, it's to make you tough, man. It was to make you tough. It was to make you tough.
I don't think that's what makes you. I think that's the birth of toxic masculinity. That's what I think it is. That's where it started.
Now, to settle all that right there, I want to ease your mind on that right there, what I mean by that. Everybody went through that, okay? Came home for basic training. Getting ready to go to AIT. All right? Wind up going to my father's first cousin's daughter's party. And there's about 7 of us from my neighborhood, a couple of girls, a couple of guys went out to this town. And we're enjoying ourselves. My dad and his cousin, they're upstairs playing Biz Wiz and all that. And so fight gets ready to break out. So my dad and his, they break up the fight, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, somehow these guys started up again from different towns. Now, while we're out there, this is when other people, the guy from Franklin was getting the best of the guy from New Brunswick. So his buddies started, his boys started jumping in. People from Franklin wouldn't help him out. So we tried to break the fight up. Evidently, we got caught up in it. Now, true story. I had about 15 people that I had to fight by myself. I got the mark still today on my cheek. 15 people by myself. Now, my wife didn't believe all that stuff till she found out. I'm not saying I'm a badass, but I was a badass that night, drunk and every damn thing else.
He said that night. He said, I was definitely certified that one night. He said, you were certified that one night.
I mean, if it wasn't, let's put it this way. If it wasn't for what I went through when I was young, I don't think I would even had the ability to even sustain that kind of stuff. So different places where you grow up at, I mean, like your kids. All right, I don't know. If my kids got in a fight, hey, take your ass back out there. Take their ass back out. Because if you don't do something today, it might be tomorrow, the next day. So you're going to have to stand up sooner or later. If you fight back, I guarantee you they won't bother no more. That's how I look at it. But like I said, different age, different times. Nowadays nobody wants to take an ass whooping. You talking about people going to commit suicide? Man, please. They ain't been nowhere near what we did. If you take everybody today and they put them back there in my neighborhood, you might as well just kill off this whole damn street, this whole damn town. They wouldn't be able to take it. I mean, the word nigger, you got to talk to her. Why do you want to call me? Nah, it wasn't none of that. Mm-hmm. You get knocked the fuck out. If I ain't knocked you out, I'm dragging you across somewhere. You know,
tied him up.
Yeah, tied him up.
No, you don't tie white people. You just whoop their ass.
I say, Mr. Booker, where y'all getting all this rope from, man? Where y'all getting all this rope?
Where you getting all what?
I said, where y'all get all this rope from?
You guys got things now. You got washing machines and dryers and stuff like that. Yeah, clothesline. You know, we had clothesline coming back up doing those days. Unless you had some money where your parents can afford, they can get a washing machine, but they couldn't afford to dry. Either they had the dryer or the washing machine didn't work. But they had clothesline. So rope was always available. If you ain't had, you didn't go to David house. Right? You can cut down there if it's on their pole and get a strand. Yeah, so you like that rope stuff, huh?
Hey, I was just wondering where all this rope came from, boy. Y'all said, go get that rope, tie this nigga up.
I got it. Hey, somebody already got it in their pocket.
Somebody got it. He said, hey, it make more sense now that they clothesline and stuff like that. I was like, man, that's a lot of damn rope. You know what I'm saying? So you got to fight every day.
I asked you today, do you want to play 21?
No, sir. Not at all. I don't know. Is your knees like Dwayne? You got bad knees like your son? If you got bad knees like Dwayne, I'm willing to take you.
No, you good.
Okay,
I'm good.
I can't play you there because I was gonna chop you in the leg one time and then I was gonna go to the goal.
If you got bad knees, I can help you out. I can tie you up and get a bag and we'll straighten it out.
Nah, it's all right. No,
it don't hurt your
Yo, Dwayne, reminder, we never playing basketball with your daddy. I just want to make sure you know that.
Mr. Booker got me scared to come to cool.
I actually by his rules. Nobody don't play my rules. What? How did that go?
Oh man,
yeah, that is hilarious, man. But that's funny, man.
Yeah.
What you got to say about that, boy? You know what I'm saying? I don't think we got your opinion from it. You the only person we ain't heard from.
Oh, me?
Yeah, I think you the only one we ain't heard from on this topic. You gave the topic, but you ain't talking about it.
I gave the topic. I ain't talking about it. All right. Well, you know, like I said, I wanted him to interject as to the things that they went through back then. Yeah. You know what I mean? Of course. That's why I wanted it was good to have it that way, to kind of see what the new age go through, what we went through and what they went through. And you can just see the evolution, you know, how everything's evolved. And, you know, what used to be an assault case, or what would be an assault case today, was just funny games back then. You know what I'm saying? So,
you ain't God.
Felonies out there, boy. I know. So, I look at it like, man, in some senses, yeah, you know, with bullying, I especially nowadays, man, I just look at like, oh, they made fun of me. I do think that's weak. You know what I mean? And how everything nowadays is constituted as bullying. Any type of negative energy, negative word being used, oh, he's making fun of me, he's bullying me. No, man, he's making a joke. I don't think a lot of kids nowadays, and I say kids because, you know, they are the next generation that's coming up, that has to dissect and understand what it means to them. And I do think that they need tougher skin. I do admire how, you know, Cody, you talking about the example that you had with, you know, Junior, you know, might have had a boo-boo, you know what I'm saying? You know, is it bleeding? All right, then. You all right. And he stops crying. You know what I mean? Those are the values that we had instilled in us that we try to pass along. And the same thing with Darrell. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you said that Bryson's not, you know, tough like that, or, you know, that type of child. But at the same time, you still try to give him those values of what you had growing up. You know what I mean? Regardless of if they can use it or not. I mean, we still pass it along. And I think nowadays people are just wrapped up in, okay, everything's bullying. we got all type of avenues, cyberbullying, face-to-face, written letters, text messages, everything, social media, everything. It's just too many outlets, and everybody's too accessible. You know what I mean? And people just nowadays, I feel, take things too fucking serious. And that's what it boils down to. They just take everything so serious and take it to heart. They wear their emotions on their sleeves. And I think that's an extreme sign of weakness. You know what I mean? Like, you got to learn how to take a punch, man. You got to learn how to take a joke. And if you can't do either, then I feel sorry for you. But, yeah, that's just you know what I mean? That's just how I feel on it. I'm neutral, for the most part, but I don't care for how the new generation is, so soft. And I'm not using that word loosely. I believe they are soft as fuck.
Well, so this what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say, even though the way I feel, like if you don't get touched, it ain't really bullying or whatever like that. I still understand where they coming from today. Everything is evolving, and the things that they deal with today, we didn't have to deal with. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, on your phone is reality. So if somebody's talking about you on your phone, which is your now new reality, I can see it being perceived as quote unquote bullying, because that's where people living their life on is online. So I understand. I understand it. I don't want nobody to listen to think I don't understand how somebody could be perceive it as I don't perceive it as bullying or something like that. I understand how new cats can do that. I understand how. Because niggas still getting catfished every day. You know what I'm saying? This is online is niggas' reality. You know what I'm talking about? So if you caught up like that, niggas talking about you, I can see you thinking like, oh, I ain't got no friends. All my online friends talking about me. That's how you was raised. I understand that. But your pops, he was raised a different way. He was raised in a way of survival. You know what I'm saying? He was taught how to survive. So I understand how he was brought up as well. You know what I'm talking about? If you don't learn how to fight where we at, you're not gonna survive. So those things that he went through was, in a sense, necessary for him to survive. You know what I'm talking about? For him to be where he at and thrive where he was at. I just think it depends on your circumstance, where you was born at, and how you is, and everybody ain't the same. Yeah. If somebody consider it bullying and they tell you, just stop it. That's all I'm gonna say. What you think? What you think, Cody?
I mean, I was just going to say, like, a lot of it is, it's not necessarily retaliation, but why don't you stand up for yourself?
Gotcha.
That's my only thing. A lot of people in these bullying instances, they just run and take shelter. They don't speak up. And then, heaven forbid, Lord forbid, but, a lot of kids nowadays, even grown-ups, like Darrell said, you know what I mean? How that gentleman was blackballed. And he was more than qualified for a position and just couldn't take it no more. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be direct line of sight bullying. It can be indirect. I don't ever have to say anything to you, but I could paint a narrative to other people that makes them, push you away. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? To where you feel like an outcast. That can happen. So,
but I
don't ever want somebody.
All right, man. I got a scenario because it just popped in my head.
Yeah.
My brother and me.
Okay.
DD. You know what I'm talking about? He was getting bullied. And he went up there and told him, hit me. If you so big and bad, hit me. And he came back to Alfie, and he said, did you do what I tell you to do? He said, yeah. Did you tell him what I told you to tell him? Yeah. He said, what happened? I got hit. He stood up for himself. He still got hit, though. Exactly. I mean, if you ain't built for that, I think everybody you got to play your role. If you ain't built, if my son or child ain't built for that, I got my brother's son, Khalil. Khalil built for business. You know what I'm saying? He built for war. You know what I'm talking about? Khalil gonna get in somebody's face. Darrell said Bryson ain't built for that. I'm not gonna tell Bryson to engage. I'm gonna say, Bryson, you gonna tell somebody, you come back, you do what you need to do. I think it's just different avenues, different ways of pursuing it. That's all. You know what I'm saying?
We just need to build. We need to build the kids' emotional intelligence, man. We just need to let them know how to assess. How to assess their emotions, you know what I'm saying, and how to express it. So if you getting beat up, you know what I'm saying, and you can't fight, maybe you don't even try to fight back and you still getting beat up. Maybe you need to start talking junk about his busted ass shoes. You know what I'm saying? Humble that man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, find a way.
You gotta know you can fight with words then. Then he gonna leave you alone and they don't want everybody laughing at him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They gotta realize that and they gotta learn that. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Yep.
I like that, man. I think this was a nice little conversation, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I think we could ride out on this one, man. I didn't have a CP topic, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the boy CP again. I didn't get a CP topic again today. Greg was gonna take that Greg topic because he had another one, but we'll save that till next week. You know what I'm saying? But anybody got anything before we leave? Real, what's going on with you, man? Anything you want to say in closing?
Yeah, I know Mr. Booker got me scared to come to Cove. I ain't come none.
He live in Killeen. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you can walk freely in Cove. Killeen, I don't know about it.
I'm just not coming to Texas, period. Mr. Booker was playing in prison ball. But
man, you just don't know, brother. You just don't know, man.
That was a dope conversation today, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh man, for sure.
Book, what you got, man?
Nothing, man. About to head out of here in about 2 hours or so.
Yeah, be safe.
Take my butt back to the city, Kuwait City. Get back to work, man. You know, it's been a pleasure while I was here. Kind of overextended my stay because I got comfortable. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't like staying as long as I do. I like to stay maybe about 2.5 weeks and then, you know, get back on my way. But I was pretty much in the States for about, long time this time. So, not a long time. I'm still under my days, IRS. I'm still under my days, baby. I abide by the law. So don't take it like that. You know what I'm saying? But, I just, you know what I mean? It's just, it was fun, man. You know what I mean? I had a great time with the family. You know, got to see the homies, got to see the friends. You know what I mean? Chop it up, do some things that we never thought we'd do. But once again, you know, I know Franz let off with it. But thank you to everybody who tuned in and watched us via the Facebook Live while it was still there. You know, on YouTube. And even if you don't watch us on the YouTube, if you just listen to the playback, man, it's all worth it. You know what I mean? It's all meaningful to us, and we appreciate you all. So I wanted to send my sincerest appreciation out to, you know, our fans, followers, and listeners as well. Because, that's it.
Appreciate that, man. Kind words.
For sure.
Cody, what's happening with you, man?
Yo. Same old, man. AverageBlackMan.com, www.averageblackman.com.
When it's coming?
That's about it,
when
man.
The new one coming?
That's about it. I do want to, I want a motion that we implement pop topics so he can call in and get on there every now and then and let them boys know. You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be a good idea.
We just gonna call it an OG topic. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get an OG from somewhere, and we're gonna have we got to get them in there to hear what they come from. You know what I'm talking about?
They got to be certified though. They got to be certified OGs. Not just somebody that's just old. I mean, like really an OG. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. I'm with it. You know what I'm talking about? But when the new blog coming, man? You know what I'm saying? I know you tried to skate past it, man, but when the new one coming?
Man, probably next week, man. I actually got an issue that I really, really want to tap into. I've been doing a little bit more research on it, man. It's going to be dealing with a little bit more with police relations, and it's because an incident happened here in Houston. And a friend of mine, he's actually on the police force in Houston. He's an investigator or detective, and his buddy was actually one of the police guys, the policemen that got shot. Like last week. I don't know if y'all heard about it, but it was probably like 5 police officers in Houston that got shot by by a man and his wife, I think. It was actually some white guys too. A white family, I guess. And yeah, man, it was an unfortunate situation, and so it actually rose a bunch of conversations throughout our brotherhood, man. And so it's conflicting views and things like that. And he got real passionate because, of course, he's a cop, and so. Yeah, but he's a black cop too. You know what I'm saying? So he sees 2 sides. You know what I'm saying? So I've been talking with him, and I'm trying to go ahead and get something together. You know, I like mine. I don't like mine to be forced. You know what I'm saying? When I write a blog, I like it to be thoughtful, and I like it to be like real shit. So hopefully I get it out next week. If not, you know, it'll be the week after. I'll keep y'all posted on it though.
No problem. Too easy.
For sure.
Like always, man. Check out Chosen Musicians, man. I forgot to shout out Chosen Musicians last week when we was in the live in the studio, man. Our apologies. You know what I'm talking about? He's a good supporter. We support him. He supports us. So definitely shout out Chosen Musicians. Shout out Mr. Booker again. You know what I'm talking about? And like always, once again, follow us on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? MVP, the Man's View Podcast. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Twitter. Check us out on Apple Music. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Apple Music. Check us out on Google Podcasts. Check us out on Spotify. Check us out on all them damn streaming platforms. We probably on one of them motherfuckers. You know what I'm talking about? Look for us. You know what I'm saying? Holler at us.
Hey.
Tell your friends about us. What's going on, man?
One last thing for everybody who think I just got this temper problem. Y'all heard where I get it from? Y'all think I just be talking cash shit? No, he took 15 to 1, baby. What you think I'm going to do to you one-on-one? Leave me alone. Let me be great.
I got you.
God, man.
Man.
Damn, boy. Yeah, I see. I really see.
Man, leave me alone. Let me be great.
But until next time, man, we going to holler at y'all, man. It's the MVP.